time to open up your eyes and let them realize it's got to be a change. It's time to open up the eyes and let them realize it's got to be a change. The program cannot take it any longer. Oh yeah. Hey. Have to have an education.
It is good that you are here to record this picture of me in my palace garden at Addis Ababa. People who see this throughout the world will realize that even in the 20th century, with faith, courage, and a just cause, David will still beat Goliath.
Fairfield is the house that defeated the Italians. That's how I see it. It still has that spirit. It's the house that defeated the wicked. I heard the elderlies used to tell me stories about Fairfield, and they'd said that the Germans would pass over it, but couldn't find it.
Of people is have the misconception that when this man is going into exile, he's running away from a war. But there are many strategies in fighting war. You understand?
Beaten in the last battle, abandoned by the League of Nations, the Emperor had retreated through deserted towns and villages towards Addis Ababa. Though the Italians were closing in behind him, he stopped for 2 days to fast and pray on his knees in the monolithic church of Lalibela. Haile Selassie planned to move to the hills and fight a guerrilla campaign, but his chiefs and advisors knew their broken armies could not fight on. They persuaded the emperor to leave Ethiopia. On May the 2nd, the Imperial family left by train for Djibouti, en route for Palestine and exile in London.
What it shows me as well is that Rome has always been the enemy of Ethiopia from ancient times. His Majesty going to field in Bath. You have to remember what is Bath, you know? When Romans invade Britain, Bath was their capital. You understand? So His Majesty was also showing the world that you, Rome, is my enemy. You are the enemy. And His Majesty going into Bath is a victory. And if you interpret it, it's also shows him win that war morally. You know? It's like a battle in one right this way. Because you and me a fight, and you come in one of my city. You understand? So that is what His Majesty did. Went into the city psychology and won that battle even morally, because the people of Bath, as a documentary depicted, was very empathetic with the emperor and the cause of Ethiopians and those type of things, you know. And one need to even reflect on the Revelation, because Revelation tells you that, you know, that the beast shall make war with the lamb.
He will speak against the Most High and oppress His saints and try to change the set times and the laws. The saints will be handed over to him for a time.
So it's really these type of things that was happening. His Majesty was just fulfilling prophecy. Basically, the Bible also tells us that the Lord shall go down into Chaldeans. to fight for the right of his people. You understand? Book of Revelation also tells that out of his mouth was a two-edged sword with which he used to slew the nation. So it's not really physically His Majesty. His Majesty never need a bomb and a gun to win the war, basically. Because from him is the embodiment of the Most High. And the word from his mouth is truth. You understand? So once the word go out from the tabernacle of truth, and the tabernacle of righteousness, that going to materialize and manifest. But what His Majesty was showing, man, that mankind is hypocritical. Because the whole nation take counts against His Majesty, you know. See, in the League of Nations, you know. His Majesty showed them so now hypocrite all of uno. You understand? So His Majesty really give man an opportunity to redeem himself through the League of Nations. It's really an opportunity God that give man to redeem himself. But man prove that he's filthy, basically. So may I say, arrogant and presumptuous. What is man? To believe that he can overthrow the Most High. And show the presumptuousness of man. So you have to see the mysteries, the whole mystery, even when His Majesty returned to Ethiopia on the same day that he left. You know, in 5 years' time that he left. And then His Majesty returned to Rome, I think it was 30 years after. It's 30 years after, the same day, you know. His Majesty went to Rome on a visit. In 1936 went to the League of Nations, and 1963 went to the United Nations. So His Majesty show you the power Him have even in numerology, and how Him control time. Because the Almighty control time, you know. You understand? So Him just turn the 36 backwards, and 63. You understand? And unleash an next judgment right here again. Bob Marley reflect it in his song.
Until the philosophy which old one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned. Well, everywhere is war. It's your war. And until there's no longer first class nor second class citizens of any nation, and until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance than the color of the size, I've got to say war here. And until the basic human rights are equally guaranteed to all without regard to race, this your war. But until that day, the dream of lasting peace, world citizenship, and the rule of international morality will remain but a fleeting illusion to be pursued.
These prophecies that was written even long before the Bible was written. See? Now, this is prophecies that's written upon the temples and the walls in Egypt, written in stone, thousands upon thousands of years before even the nation of Israel even come into existence. Most as you say, the Bible as we know it today could have been written and mistranslated. See, you know, the prophecy is a tradition of the Messiah's treading to creation from such Iowa unto this Iowa, where God come in flesh always to show man, because man cannot comprehend the divine intelligence unless he can see it within physical manifestation. You tell a man of spirit alone, you cannot see spirit. The most you could see of spirit from understand spirit is water. That's the most physical thing you could understand of spirit, different to the ear, blood, and so now, it's a prophecy of allegory stories that is written about the Christ tradition, saying the Godhead coming through creation from such Iowa. And the shall say of the first tradition of Asa and Aset, where them crucify and kill Asa and cut him up in a pieces according to the stories, and of the first resurrection. But they show you all the whole thing, they show you he was 72 friends would come to his banquet, Yovers, and then they conspire against him. He show when them deal with him, he went into the underworld, it was 5 days or a period of 5, it was the number 5 that was used at that time, and all the fulfillment happened upon that number 5. Then he showed the next allegory of the number of 3, where he talk of Jonah in the whale belly coming out, which is the allegory story, we show up, they said, Jesus Christus, 3 days within the tomb and conquer death and come forward. Now with Majesty now, the prophecy show is the 5, the Godhead return. As it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. So when he leave Ethiopia and was forced by the Crown Council and the other executive, although he was the King of Kings, the empire it have council and advisors. And when man say, Majesty, you can't sit down and talk about a guerrilla warfare. What are you talking about? You don't know such justice. If you get captured and done, this thing done, you know. Yeah. Because remember saying, you know, even when we say as Rastafari that we know Majesty as the Almighty God, remember say that the ones who tried with the prophecy from such Iowa, even here in Ethiopia, knew the Godhead when he come in the flesh. You know.
After this, I saw another angel coming down from heaven. He had great authority, and the earth was illuminated by his splendor. With a mighty voice he shouted, "Fallen, fallen is Babylon the Great."
So we have to watch the story and know the fullness and the mystics. So what now? You show yourself when them show my thing, you have to go down in the underworld. He said when the God have to go down into the underworld and show you go by boat. You always, just like Jonah, same water tradition. It's always water and fire. That's the fullness of creation. It's the sun and the water that brings forward everything out in the earth. Without the two, you have nothing. You can't get the third. So when you show yourself now, when Majesty go down and go in a bath, you know, and spend the 5 years and return. And the set day, the 5th to the 5th, and everything was the 5th. It's the fulfillment. They show yourself the Godhead. When the Godhead comes at this Iowa, Ethiopia shall be born, and all the prophecies will go fulfill.
The chronology and history of Rastafari within the fulfillment of prophecy in this time. Yeah. This visit of Haile Selassie to Jamaica, it's on chronology and a fulfillment within prophecy. April, I see as the suitable month to be declared globally as Rastafari month. Globally. Significant reasons. While we are here today, it was the Magdala invasion of 1868 by Imperial, from the 13th of April, finally burning, looting, and killing our people in our motherland, in Magdala. Till the 17th, today is what? 16? 17. So you see, right on the date and the time then. Very significant for us to remember. 11, 12 and 13 of April, in the middle, the 12th was the day that the state declared, kill all Rasta in Jamaica. The birth of Rastafari. God blind him if he not kill out Rasta, even from Governor Foote, Governor Blackburn, Governor Philip, Costas, Francis Jarrett, effort come up to that time. April the 12th, most significant date and time. In April again, the second mission, the 3 wise men, sponsored by the Jamaican races, to go to Ethiopia to meet the king. It's April again. See, on that visit, Virgin writing a record, the emperor shed tears when they reached there, you know, and then repeat Psalms 9 before the emperor. And they meet Jomo Kenyatta and latter ones there, so it's a very chronological history of I and I. Now, that brought about the visit of His Majesty to Jamaica 3 years after, 1966, the 21st of April to the 24th. 3 Caribbean islands, 3 days in Jamaica, and 3 nights, fulfilling the Son of Man in the heart of the earth, for 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the beast, in the pit of San Salvador, to redeem his people, Rastafari, from death. That is a resurrection took place here in the history and chronology. 3 days and 3 nights fully. Now we reach the golden anniversary. It was also the 19th of April that His Majesty liberated the Bible. Because Rome invasion burned the Bibles in Ethiopia and burned the printing press. His Majesty take 5 years to set up a committee, Greek, Hebrew, and to build forward an original translation. First work His Majesty took up after returning to Ethiopia in 1941. By 1942 we set up that commission. 19th of April. So the Bible is one of the foundations built upon the Rastafari and the Emperor Haile Selassie I. Very serious and critical part of things. Now, Psalms 89 says, I have sworn unto David my servant, I will not lie unto him. His seed will I cause to endure through all generations and forevermore. Now there is a lineage with us today, this generation. So we still have to say, if there is an everlasting covenant made unto David, his anointed, he will not lie unto David, his servant. We see that line now in exile, king in exile, Ethiopian, Rasta. We are supposed to ensure this lineage is properly protected.
Which lineage?
I and I still must recognize that we still have an anointed one with us. Because the line is everlasting covenant, sworn by his holiness, he will not lie. So we have to recognize now, and right now, at this golden vision.
Glory to word, glory to sound, glory to the ever-living one, Emperor Haile Selassie I the First. Protectorate of all human faith and the ruler of the universe. A man in flesh have neither beginning of days nor end of time, but abide of the order of Melchizedek and not of a carnal command. For it is evidence in thy king shall sprung through Judah, which shall Moses speak nothing concerning priesthood. From Judah the scepter shall not depart, nor lack from beneath Judah feet. And to him shall be gathered his people, said, Most High, Selassie I, Rastafari.
From the royal lineage.
Welcome to the podium, our very, very special guest, the grandson, one of the grandsons of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I, His Imperial Highness, Prince Elmia Haile Selassie.
I want to thank all of you for welcoming me here today. I've had a very special 3 days in Kingston, so I'm very much looking forward to my time here with you in Montego Bay. I've had an amazing show of love from the Jamaican people and especially the Rastafarian community. So I'm so happy to be with you here tonight, and hopefully you will enjoy the exhibition, and I'll have time to speak to you a little later. So thank you very much.
Lion of Judah. I witnessed and experienced for myself on Thursday the same outpouring of emotions, energy, and gratitude that was bestowed on His Imperial Majesty 50 years ago. It was a sight to behold. Hundreds of Jamaicans from all walks of life paying homage to the Prince and the memory of his grandfather, who did so much for the struggle for the independence of Ethiopia, international peace, and black pride. The visit by His Imperial Majesty Selassie I in 1966 did much to legitimize a group of Jamaicans who had embraced a philosophy and religion that was, until then, not accepted. It opened the doors for greater collaboration between the state and various groups in the society, and is even today helping to create a space for greater unity of the Jamaican people. The collaboration with the peoples of Ethiopia and Africa continue to grow with our trade, educational and cultural ties. We are enriched by our shared beginnings and celebrate the many aspects of African retention in our music, in our dance, and in our language. The commemorative visit, which has been reenacted, including the culmination of this journey from here in Western Jamaica, has been a remarkable achievement. Brothers and sisters, it is unfortunate that the train ride, which His Imperial Majesty took in '66, could not be replicated today. As it facilitated the opportunity for many Jamaicans living in rural parishes who were unable to make the journey to Kingston or Montego Bay to see the first black leader of Africa. It is fitting that we are gathered in some Sharp Square, renamed for our own freedom fighter, to share in this celebration. Let us acknowledge that in 1963, the Coral Gardens incident took place, an incident that is against our principles of justice for all Jamaicans and against discrimination against religious groups. That is Rastafari. We regret that experience, and we will never go there again. We are committed to safeguarding the legacies of the Rastafarian community and to reflect our history from different perspectives. Through the work of the Institute of Jamaica, we are encouraging and fostering initiatives for communities to document, reflect, and share their living histories. Some of those histories are painful and some are joyful. The exhibitions mounted in the National Museum, Jamaica West, located in your city and located in the Montego Bay Cultural Center, is an example of this initiative. I urge those of you who have not yet seen it to visit and reflect. The Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, of which I'm the minister, is committed to supporting these initiatives. We want to ensure that the Rastafarian community and Jamaicans recognize the tangible and the intangible heritage associated with Rasta. Rasta faith and Rasta liberty. Communities like the Maroons and Rastafari, which are our own, and I would say made in Jamaica, a culture which evolved from the Jamaican experience, are to be encouraged to promote their culture and to promote their celebrations and to take it to the world. The ministry is steadfast in its support for infrastructure and technical expertise where feasible for these communities to realize their full potential. You can depend on our support, our technical assistance, and where possible, our financial assistance. A strategy of providing funds for these cultural communities is a key component of the manifesto of this government. Together with the Ministry of Tourism and through the Tourism Enhancement Fund, we intend to ensure that our culture and what we call Brand Jamaica, that is so known and loved internationally, is allowed to flourish and prosper on its home ground. And when we speak of Brand Jamaica, I'm not saying that we are just a brand, we are a people. But for the purpose of the world,
we are also recognized as a powerful brand. They say we're little. The collaboration with all the relevant ministries and agencies will ensure that the communities will grow and prosper. I wish to reiterate this government's commitment to review the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. We were one of the first to sign endorsing that treaty. We will ensure that the recognition and benefits to be derived from this designation will rightly be enjoyed by all. It is no incident that His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie's profound understanding and stance for human rights and peace have been echoed in our music. It is our own Bob Marley, War, that quotes his speech to the Jamaican Parliament on Friday, April the 22nd, 1966, when His Imperial Majesty said, and I quote, "Until the philosophy which holds one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned, until that day, the African continent will not know peace." Let me take this opportunity to thank His Imperial Majesty's grandson, Prince Ermias Saleh Selassie, for continuing to carry His Imperial Majesty's vision and philosophy. That is manifested by his presence here with us today. We are heartened by his love and support for the Jamaican people. And on their behalf, I wish to thank him and Princess Saba and the other members of his delegation who have not. I will just ask them to please stand and be recognized. I thank them for sharing their special time with us. As we say, one love, one heart, one destiny.
I welcome Your Highness to Jamaica. This is indeed a milestone event, and as Jamaicans we embrace you, sir, madam, to this beautiful island. I do hope that your time spent here will be beneficial and that your eyes will be open to some great and awesome things that this nation, Jamaica, has to offer. We welcome you again. We welcome you all to this local destination, and I'm sure that you're all happy and excited to see this gentleman in person and to remember his grandfather and how he has impacted this island in such a special way. And so, ladies and gentlemen, Your Highness, welcome again to Montego Bay, and do have a wonderful time, and may you all experience this culture that the Haile Selassie has left for all of us. God bless you.
Greetings, brethren and sisters and people of Jamaica, people of Montego Bay. This celebration of His Imperial Majesty's visit is a very honorable one to us all. 1966, the 21st of April, His Imperial Majesty made his visit to Jamaica. On his way out, he stopped here, so right in this square, and give the people of Jamaica his love and support and wisdom of words for a good farewell. Today, I is here after 50 years, lead the Rasta Fari community, giving thanks to the Honorable Prince Ermias Haile Selassie, His Imperial Majesty grandson, and his wife, to make this event a very remarkable one, not reenacting the manifestation, but celebrating it. That His Imperial Majesty 50 years ago has come to Jamaica, representing the Rastafari people who has been brutalized for calling his name, calling him the Messiah, calling him God. Brutalized for existing without the society giving them anything. When His Majesty received the Rastafari voice 1961, the very year after Jamaica get independence, the next year, Rastafari people were brutalized in Coral Garden, atrociously by the state, to representing His Imperial Majesty and the liberation of black people in this country called Jamaica. Today we have no animosity against society, our people, but to endure, as His Majesty endured the war from 1935 between Mussolini and his country. 1941, His Majesty would never kill no Italian. Him say, who want to go home, or who want to stay and build back Ethiopia building. All we want now is for the government and the society to stand up and respect the Rastafari people, because they are the voice of the ordinary people of Jamaica. They are the people who survive without jobs, housing, proper family, or anything. Up till today, the Rastafari people know the integrity of Jamaica and the integrity of the Jamaican people. The Rastafari exhibition that is in East Street, in Kingston, observe well the staff of the IOJ people and the Rastafari community has set up an educational unit for the children and people of Jamaica. For the children, it have done them well, because the curriculum of Rastafari is in their CXC. They have to learn about Rasta people if they don't pass any subject. So Rastafari is key to the upliftment and intelligence and humanity of Jamaica. The mystic of His Imperial Majesty is shown to us. He gave us a school in Payne Avenue in Kingston. And from 50 years from that, we have been a curriculum and a guideline for the people of Jamaica outside of the political nature that misunderstood what leadership is like at times. My respect to all, and to Prince Ernest and his wife and his associates. I give thanks for your presence. And I give thanks for the presence of Ethiopia through you. Because Ethiopia and us have tight links together. We serve the same purpose. Ethiopia is the first liberated country in the continent of Africa. From the 7th century, amongst the Muslim, amongst the Catholic, and amongst the Arabs. 1400 years of slavery, and Ethiopia won its own independence. 500 years of slavery from the colonialists and from the Western Hemisphere. But we have the Arab, we have the Muslim, and we have the Catholic, which is Rome, to blame for slavery and all. It added up to 1900 years. But Ethiopia won its own from the 7th century with King Haile Teclemat, and never bow. As His Majesty never bow. You see. An unbordered country with an unbordered king and an unbordered people. And I is the inspiration of the Asian Tika Ambassa of Ethiopia. Now listen, His Majesty is the living king. And out of himself, he adored the God within himself. None of us were reputedly abandoned by His Majesty when they asked him if we see him as our Messiah and the God that we praise for. His Majesty prays 730 hours a year. Multiply that for 44 years for me. Right? 730 hours a year, the Emperor paid 2 hours a day. He work 20 hours and sleep 2 and pray 2. Right? And Emperor Haile Selassie, divine king. One family.
Now, in the whole context of the 50th anniversary since the visit of His Imperial Majesty to Jamaica, this is a time that I need to reflect, and not just Rastafari, but Jamaicans in general, on what His Imperial Majesty left us as a legacy. What was the message that His Imperial Majesty had for I and I? Now, when I do the research and I do the readings, I take away from that several things. One, as Rasta Fari mentioned, was education. That's why he left us Haile Selassie High School in 1966. That was no accident, my people. That was no accident, because he realized that education was the foundation for the development not only of the individual, but of a nation as a whole. To have a strong nation that is embodied with the virtue of morals and vision and so forth, you need a sound education. And it doesn't have to be a formal education. And Marcus Garvey showed us. Marcus Garvey didn't have a formal education, but if any of I and I read his readings, the philosophies and opinions, if you read his philosophies on any aspect of life, you will realize this is a great intellectual that we have. From Jamaica, you have J.C. Rogers, you have so many great Jamaicans. So it doesn't mean that the ones then have to go to university, but the island should value education in general. Yes? Because Marcus Garvey value education. When we talk about education, we mean growing human potential, developing the thought process of the mind, developing the divine essence that lies in each and every one of us. But beyond education, what His Majesty also gave us was a vision of African unity. And that's very important, my people, because I believe that this vision that His Majesty has of African unity is not being realized by I and I. Rastafari should be the vanguard of pan-African unity. And to be honest with you, I don't think we are realizing that dream. Whether you come from Japan, Africa, England, so long as what Peter Tosh said, so long as you're a black man, you're an African.